Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. I'm James and I'm hoping everything's working okay. This is not a formal live stream, I'm just doing an update because I couldn't do a video earlier. I was doing another live stream. So welcome to everyone here and I'll be with you shortly. Okay, we seem to have a little bit of feedback here. Let's make sure. Yeah, a little echo. Let's get rid of the echo. Okay, we seem to have a little bit of feedback here. Let's make sure. Yeah, a little echo. Let's get rid of the echo. Okay. We seem to have a little bit of feedback here. Let's make sure. I'll be with you shortly, folks. Yeah, a little echo. Let's get rid of the echo. All right, is the echo a little bit better? The volume up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change. All right, I don't know what's going on, folks. I'm going to try and keep the echo down to a minimum. Just give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, all right, that's good. All right, folks, I'm going to start right now, just with the economic news. Just give me some feedback on the sound. All good, thank you. I think there was just two mics running. I've got loads of mics and things going on this desk, and it's all a bit confusing sometimes. So we are now live, and welcome to everyone. And we're actually a little bit early, but I want to go through what happened in the economic news and just show you what we observed earlier during the stream at Ola Prime. So jobless claims came in at 1972 as opposed to projection of 1960, previous 1942. So jobless claims ticking up a bit. If anything, that'll have an impact on the desire for the Fed or the market in overall to reduce interest rates, if not by 25 points, by 50 potentially next month. Of course, we've got the Jackson Hole meeting coming up tomorrow, which is going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. And when we get down to the next numbers, you'll start to see why, because the Philly Fed manufacturing index came in negative and very, very poor number, negative 0.3, expected 7, prior was 15, and various other numbers came through with that. But there was a little glimmer of light at the end because the S&P Global PMI came in at 55, expected, well, previous 55, 50, slight tick up if anything. The PMI, manufacturing PMI, 53 versus 49, so pretty good. And S&P Global Services PMI 55 v 55, so about the same. A little tick up if anything. And as we saw earlier, the markets kind of like that, and then the S&P came in after that and pushed the markets back down again with the good news. And good news is now bad news and vice versa. So interesting times. We'll be starting in about 3 minutes, folks. And in the meantime, all right. Fantastic. Thank you, Gigawatt. Oh, that's the second time you're listening to me today, Gigawatt. Much better. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, folks. I'm glad. Thank you for the feedback. I really appreciate it. I can't actually hear what you can hear, so it's always good for me to listen in. So let's go and have a look through the charts. And while I'm busy with this, please like and subscribe. Click the like button right now and click the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. There are some super exciting things coming along in the next few days and weeks, including a crypto section to this channel. If you're a crypto trader, a crypto bro or crypto gal. We're going to go into crypto in a bigger way on this channel and also in my private group. So make sure that if you want to get hold of this alt season and the big bull run that everyone thinks is coming, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We will be doing dedicated crypto only content here, and I'll be doing crypto only content in the crypto channel at my private group. If you would like to join the private group, there are discounts available. Click the links below. Come and join us. Come and get some crypto. Come and trade with us. The alt season may or is probably upon us already, and it's time to get going. If you've never traded crypto before, you're interested in trading crypto, you have traded crypto, you're good at it, bad at it, whatever you might be, come and join us in the private group. We're going to be dedicating this month, I hope, to, well, at least the section in the group to crypto only. And we will be doing some content on this channel regarding crypto and this alt season and beyond that, because we're going to be moving into a lot more crypto and having more contributions on this channel as we grow. So there will be more traders. There might even be some live trading coming up soon as well on a regular basis. So stay tuned is what I can say. It's all very exciting and we're super amped and super excited, super psyched, as Jamie over at Hawaii, which made me think of a surfer called Jamie, Jamie O'Brien. And he drinks a lot of Red Bull like I do, and he says psyched quite a lot. So I've decided to say it myself. So there you go. Super exciting time coming up. Crypto bull run potentially. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but I hope it is, and I think it might be. And we're going to be focusing some time or somewhat on crypto on this channel, all the regular stuff, but also crypto too, and in our private group. So make sure to subscribe, join the private group, whatever you got to do. If you want to join this bull run on crypto, now's the time to act. There may not be another big crypto bull run coming up anytime in the near future if this market stabilizes. So yeah, that's my message for you. Super fan from Jigger. Thanks, mate. Jigger says he's a super fan. Yeah, I see Jigger around a lot at Ola Prime. Ritesh, good day to everyone. Omkar, Will, good to see all of you. Cleopas, Amit, Michael, Gujaram, Will, Marcin, Amit, Gujarat, wow. Loads of people coming in. So, okay, folks, let's get into the charts. We're going to be pretty quick today. Time has started, so let's start right away. And this is where the actual cut begins. So this is the official start of the video. Let's have a look at what's going on. This is going to be a very short update, folks, because I've got lots of things to do and crypto's moving and I need to attend to my private group traders and get them moving with the trades set up so we've got going today. So just to skim through all of this stuff here, we've taken our profit on pound shorts, about 100 pips. We got long at the top. We got out a little while ago. We could have got more. We could have got 130. We only got 100. We're still short on the euro yen. So now the trades on the majors, but I am looking, by the way, to get short on the dollar yen. Let me just emphasize this. I did talk about this at Ola Prime. I think if we can get to the top of this channel on the dollar yen, and I'm not sure we will, we may only get up to the 200 period moving average. That's the purple line in the center, near the channel center line here. Looks like a bear flag, smells like a bear flag, and if it quacks like a bear flag, it's probably a bear flag or a duck flag, whatever you want to call it. So we are at the channel center line and below the 200 period moving average, below the 20. This may be about as far as we can get. And we had that big rejection candle through the 200 just a couple of days ago. So, well, about 3 weeks ago now. Since then, very little reaction. I'd like to get short on this one. And we're also short on the euro yen already. Not looking great, but if the yen gets moving down, the dollar yen gets moving down, it'll drag all the euro, yen, pound yen, CAD yen, Swiss yen, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, all of them down with it, including the euro yen. And I think we could get much lower on this. Big double top on this day chart, looking for this to get back down to where it actually belongs, down into the 140s, probably 144, down into this region. Why have I got all of these stochastics and RSI looking things at the bottom? I'll explain to you why. And basically I've got two RSIs here, just a quick lesson if you're interested. Two RSIs. This one at the top is the 4-hour RSI, and I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart. This is the 4-hour chart on the euro yen, and that's the 4-hour RSI at the bottom of the chart. When it's overbought, it means you may be looking to sell. When it's oversold, you may be looking to buy. At the same time, you might want to look at this other RSI, the one underneath it, which is the day chart RSI transcribed onto this 4-hour chart. As you can see, at this point here, along where my mouse cursor is right now, we were very, very overbought on the day chart. on the RSI at least, and then turned down. And at the same time, the RSI on the 4-hour chart, the purple one at the top here, turned down simultaneously, giving us that short move down. We're looking for something similar. On the top RSI here, you can see we touched the top there at the red arrow, right there at the top. And we're also above the 50 zone on the daily RSI here, the one at the bottom. Slightly overbought on the daily, and we did get to an overbought condition on the 4-hour, and we are not yet short. We may have a chance to go short today. This is a 4-hour chart, but when we look at the day chart, it's not all that convincing, and we may have to just fiddle around here for a bit longer. I would like to get short on the, well, we're short on the euro yen, but I would like to get potentially more size on that one really, and then short on the dollar yen at the same time. And this is the one that's traveling within this channel. And what we have here is a potential crowning pattern. I do think this is eventually where we'll end up, but it's going to take time. And as you can see, that arrow only gets there at the end of next year. So it's not even this year, it's December 2026. So a long time to go, but sometimes these unwinds can happen very dramatically. If you look left, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and a 5th one could take us back down to 140 in very quick time, and maybe this path's a little bit slow for what's really going to happen. And that's currencies, folks. A bit messy, and because we've got Jackson Hole tomorrow, and the Fed may or may not say anything, and the other contributors in the meeting may or may not say anything, and whether he's a vindictive or spiteful man or a jolly pleasant fellow, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. He could put the cat amongst the pigeons, as I keep on saying, or he could calm these markets and release us for the next bid under everything with an everything rally, and a drop in the dollar is what the effect of lowering interest rates could be, particularly if we go to 50 basis points and not 25. If we go to 50, we could see the dollar coming off and the everything rally taking place. In other words, dollar down, everything else up. And that would include all the metals, all the stocks, all the cryptos, all the currencies, and potentially quite a lot of the commodities, including natural gas and Brent crude oil. So keep all of that in mind as the macro picture as we move into the rest of today and Friday for Jackson Hole. It's going to be an important time in the market. And considering all of that having been said, I'm still long on only one index. Let me just tell you what we did yesterday. Out of interest, if you were watching me on X or on YouTube here, you'll know that we went long on the NASDAQ and then immediately hedged it. So we have a hedge position there basically. We went long, we got short on that big move down. It spiked up subsequent to that, a very whipsaw day. But we stayed in our long on the S&P, and we remain long on this one. And I do think that we have a chance of these markets holding here. The target for the S&P is right up here at about 6,600 plus, probably closer to 7,000 at the top of the megaphone, and the 200-period bond band at the top of this pattern. If we do get up there, I'd be then considering that we may have gone too far and then look for a sell on the S&P to move back down. And that move down could take us all the way back down towards the 200-day moving average into a much lower price. But for now, I remain bullish. And I'm hoping that through today, and if we can manage to hold on with death grip to these gains that we've had over the last few days, and if we can hold these levels today on the S&P, on Bitcoin, on NASDAQ, on gold, and all the other stuff that we're looking at, then I think we've got a good chance of new, fresh highs on the NASDAQ and the S&P, Bitcoin, gold, and all the rest of the stuff we're talking about. We have nothing on the US 30 or the German 30, but we have a long on MSTR, although that's now, we were hedged. We added a new long position on that, by the way. My face is in the way. Let me show you. So this is MSTR. We have a long position from there. It's about here. Let me move that across to here. That's the time we took it. We're still long, and I'm going to move that across. Oh, let me leave it there. So we long from there, and we long from the lows of yesterday. We dipped back, well, not quite the lows actually, sort of halfway down through the lows. We did dip down a little bit further, but we bounced back. We're long on MSTR, long on Tesla. Tesla's looking okay. I kind of like it. Despite all the headwinds that the market's facing, we've broken out of this triangle, symmetrical triangle. And the target for that triangle, very, very simply, is simply the target or the move from the bottom to the top, approaching the triangle. Let's make that green, and I'm going to duplicate that, stick that on at the breakout point of the triangle, and that gives us our target. It's just simple, very, very simple. And I've got the same angle. What's nice about this is I can get both the target and the gradient of the move up if that happens. And that simply takes us back up to the all-time double top, potential double top, all-time high, and this 200 period Bollinger Band at the top here. Excuse me. So a very, very simple way of working this out. Bull move, symmetrical triangle, and the exit of the bull move equal in size, distance, and gradient, and everything to the approach to the triangle. So I think that looks good. My target for Tesla is closer to 500, maybe 480, but I think we're going to exceed that and move on higher, much higher. I'm also long on Coinbase, and that's flagging along with MSTR and along with Bitcoin. And all of these are obviously supported by the fundamental idea that Bitcoin is going up and we can trade Bitcoin at Coinbase. And therefore the tools, the picks, the shovels, the wheelbarrows, the ropes, the guns, the barrels of oil and beer, all that sort of stuff that people sell during gold rushes is what Coinbase is, and many of the others. And that's what we want to be buying when the gold rush is on. Gold rush hasn't quite got going yet. I'm short on Nvidia, by the way. Just talking about that. Gold rush hasn't got going. And even though I've got the words gold rush on my chart, it still hasn't got going. Now, let me just quickly check the chat. Everyone hearing me okay? Just type yes. Type thanks, James. Type yes, I've just subscribed to the channel. Type yes, I just gave a thumbs up to the channel. Let me know that you can hear me okay. This is gold. Moving sideways for about 4 or 5 months now, and offering very little. We are long. I'm looking for path A now to complete. We've tried paths B and C with very little profit from those, a little bit, but not much. And we're now bouncing back. I've had to redraw this triangle a couple of times and thereby skipping out that low there. The original triangle was like that, or something like that anyway, and I've had to redraw it out. It's kind of still valid. We've still got 2 touch points here, and we're holding the bottom of the triangle. We're still below the 20 and the 50-day moving averages, but the bottom of the triangle is perfectly lined up with the 100-day moving average right here. As you can see, you can't even see it because it's perfectly aligned with the bottom of the triangle. Therefore, it's a good level, and I think we're strong on this one. I'm hoping we are anyway. And a break up through here with an everything rally following Jackson Hole, if we get that. I'm not saying we will. It's an idea or a particular or possible outcome. Then we should see gold moving up. My target is shown by this green path, closer to $3,900. And once again, we could do Fibonacci projections, and we can do pattern projections if we want to on gold. I haven't done so just yet. I know they're all up here around, close to $4,000. I'll get to that when we do, but only when we break out through the top of this triangle, because right now I'm not really interested in drawing a path which may or may not occur. So that's gold. We're also long on silver, and that's doing particularly well, has done for the last 3 or 4 or 5 months, actually, since the beginning of the year, really, apart from that big sell-off. And that sell-off didn't really affect gold. That was the tariff sell-off, which affected silver, but not gold. But silver recovered really quickly, and since then has outperformed gold. Gold's been moving sideways, silver's been moving up. We're long on silver and long on gold now. We were long on gold and long on silver, short on gold. We're also long on copper, and I'll get to the cryptos shortly. We're long on copper from this low. We've got 2 trend lines, either one of which may eventually work out to be the most solid. But we've got a red one and a green one. Really what happened with copper was we're in a bull trend, right? Copper's in demand, it's cheap. There's plenty of places for copper to be used in electronics, in AI, everything computers and electrical electronics, and building, and electricity, and everything else. And copper's in an uptrend. We've moved all the way from $2 up to $5. So big move up, but just correcting and sensibly down to the trend line. Allow for a dip down to the green trend line if we have to get there, but I'm long already from this point. Not a full position, a fairly moderate position actually. I'd like to add some more. If we take off without adding from here, I'd be a bit disappointed actually. I'd really prefer to get a little bit more down at the green trend line. Let's see how we go. If we just keep on going from here, that's all right. We'll just take what we can get from there. And that's all the metals, I think. We'll come back to that if I have to. Uranium, I'm looking to get long on, URA. We don't have any positions on uranium right now. Having taken profit, we got in literally at the green block at the bottom. We got out literally at the top. So one of my favorite plays. That took about 4 months and a great result. But now we're dipping back down. We've got various gaps below us and moving averages. I've got a red path, which I'm kind of looking at right now, but no positions on so far. Excuse me. And then same with UEC, the other uranium instrument that I'm trading. I'm looking for a dip down. No positions. We are below the 20-period moving average. Maybe we've got to get down to the 50 or the 200 next. So that's uranium. And while we're talking about uranium, we may as well talk about lithium. And I'm also long on lithium, another metal. And this is also used in electricity type stuff. I'm hoping that we don't get an island reversal. It's looking quite firm. In fact, the sort of the risk of an island reversal has now largely gone away. Even though we've got a gap there, we have returned back to the breakout point. So that gap is mostly sort of filled in. So maybe we're okay. We're long on lithium, and I think we could, I don't know where the top is, could go on much, much higher, but at least for, I think probably, and we've got plenty of space to go on. This is why it's such a great trade, such an exciting one. Very long-term breakout, 2 potential trend lines. Check this out, draw these on your own chart when you've got time. But I think we could get quite high up here and maybe up into the 60s, sort of mid-60s, somewhere around there. We're trading at 44 on lithium and probably a lot higher eventually, by the way. And then while we're on this page, let's stick here. We're still long on wheat. This contract has rolled over. Not on all brokers, I've noticed. Some folks are saying that it hasn't rolled over. This is the Pepperstone broker, and the futures contract rolled over a couple of days ago. Folks were asking me, well, what about Pepperstone, the futures? I think most of the brokers will have rolled over into the new contract now on wheat, even the continuous prices like we've got here on Pepperstone. So just ticking up a bit, holding that level. Always allow for a dip down to the next sort of falling wedge or trend line, bottom down there, a little bit low down at about, well, 470 is a potential low. But I think if we manage to hold in this region, generally, there's plenty of upside for wheat. And of course, we've got a falling wedge, which is always prone to, sorry, phone call there. Falling wedge is always prone to a pretty sharp short squeeze. So something like that on wheat. Okay, so keep an eye out for that one. I kind of like it still. And we're long on corn. That's doing okay. Getting a bit of a bid there, moving up into that channel. I want to see a breakout through this channel eventually on corn. Something like this, probably, whoops, there we go. We want this, what are we going to use here? The brush. So we want something like this, you know, break up, pull back, and off we go. That's corn. And then on cotton, I've already drawn the line in for you, so you don't have to sit through me drawing it again. But this is cotton, and I kind of like this one too. Once again, a sort of falling pattern. We could draw a falling wedge pattern here too, and it's likely to have a short, sharp squeeze coming out of there at some point in the near future. So that's all the softs and grains. We're also short on coffee, by the way. We eventually got a new short position on coffee at the top of this channel. You can see the 2 entry positions there, about 10%, 10%, something like that. So still plenty of volume available to add to this. Notice that we've got the golden ratio, the 618 fib, just above us, which is one of the areas where we originally got short on the breakdown below that ledge. Very, very key ledge that. We're just underneath it now. And if we do touch it and form something like we already did before, look how many times we get a double at this particular level. We get a double there, well, it's more of a quadruple, a double there, perfect double tweezer, a double there, and a double there. All right, all at the same level at the 618 fib here on coffee. Well, we're almost there now, not quite, but if we can get up into that region at about 375, 376, 377, maybe 378, 9, and form something similar to this, I'll be looking to add. We've already got a couple of positions on here. Both of these are quite small, 10 and 10, and I'd like to add a little bit more. Do allow for a move all the way back up to 400, being a big round number, and one of the very highly traded regions just below there. I think most likely, though, we'll hold beneath 375-ish. Don't quote me on those exact numbers. So that's softs and grains. And then the VIX, I spoke earlier this morning about this at the Ola Prime live stream. For those of you who are worried about getting long on the VIX, this is what I think is most likely. Of course, we could take off from here. The VIX did have a bit of a spike up yesterday, and a lot of people got very excited about it, but the VIX is a spiky old instrument, much like I am, actually, the hedgehog. They call me the spiky old hedgehog. VIX is very spiky, and that's what happened yesterday. And generally, I only buy the VIX when it's at the bottom of the green zone, if I can. And I think we're heading there. Towards the end of the year, I think we'll see a takeoff. This is just a broad, general, thumb suck, pulled it right out of you-know-where idea. But generally, I've got a feel for these markets, and I know I've been trading them a long time. This is what I'd expect just from my recognition of repeated recognition of endless charts, thousands and thousands and tens and hundreds and maybe even millions of hours at this point. Probably not. But there we go. I think we're going to get down a little bit further on the VIX. And until that happens, we're not going to see the stock markets coming off, and probably crypto will hold up well as well towards the end of the year. And then we might be able to get long on the VIX and short on everything else. As the dollar maybe starts picking up, dollar up, everything else down, VIX up, dollar up, everything else down towards the end of the year. That's just a general idea, folks. I'm not predicting it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm preparing for it. That's all. In case that does occur, I know where we're heading and what sort of things to look for. So I think that's everything, folks. And I'm going to go through some of the questions because I am in a rush, as you can hear. But I don't want to sort of skimp on what we're trying to do here, and to make sure that everyone's got all the info you've got, or that I've got to give you. So let's quickly go through all the questions, and we'll see if we can get through this in like 10 minutes. And there's a lot of them, so I may not get to all of them. Gigawatt. Hi, lovely people of YouTube. Like a famous trader once said, hello, Gigawatt. I always say that. Hello, lovely people of YouTube. Lovely to see you. And you, Gigawatt. Will Hayford, 17 waiting. That's close to the Ola Prime when you're live. Smashing it, bro. Clean out your audio inputs. I've cleaned them out. Thank you, Will. Yeah, seem to be a lot more people watching me here. Why don't you come and join me at Ola Prime every morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time? I'd love to see you there. Show some support. I'm there every single morning, and again tomorrow morning, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time at Ola Prime. But if you don't want to go there, that's all right. You can watch me here instead. But make sure you like and subscribe if you're going to watch me here, and don't like and subscribe. I'm joking, of course, at the other place. Right. Good day, Martin, Gigawatt, Michael. I'm going to get through all the greetings. I think I've said many of them already. Edgar Antonio, Merrill Manchera, always great to see you. Ritesh, Tanil, NK, and. Okay, Gigawatt, it's not a textbook evening star, but this week's candle did not gap up or start. Okay, I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Rate cut expectations, says Ethan, are about 80%. That's guaranteed, Ethan. So, no, the rate cuts are guaranteed, Ethan. Anything above 80%, generally, I've never seen an 80% plus not end up in a rate cut. The question really, I think, is what Jerome's going to say tomorrow, what the minutes and the press conference this is only next month, remember. We haven't even got to September yet. It's next month when the rates may be cut. But there's a question now of where it might be 50 or 25 basis points. And that lies really in the hands of the Fed and Jerome Powell. And we may find out a little bit more about that tomorrow. So 80% means, yes, definitely a cut. Jinx is James Cat. Yes, Jinx isn't here. Next stream, I'll bring Jinx in to say hello to you all again. Jinx is not here, but somewhere. What's up with coffee? Coffee. Let's have a look at coffee. Yeah, we've spoken about coffee, Will. I think I gave a good analysis of coffee. Coffee needs to collapse. Gigawatt drinks coffee to prevent collapse. Natural gas, we've talked about. Long on natural gas from current level on the continuous, not the futures. I will be trading the futures next week. I'm long on the continuous from $2, as I showed you on the charts earlier. Let's go back to that and have a quick look. Just to make sure there's no confusion. So we're long on the continuous contract at my green arrow here on the chart. Let's have a look. And the reason I've gone long is simply because we've got a little bit of, arbitrage here. Last time I bought this up on X about 2 years ago, this arbitrage potential when trading natural gas, they all thought I was scamming or lying or just plain mad. But look at what we've got here. This contract, this is the continuous contract at Pepperstone, trading at, well, we got long at 273. We're trading at 278 now. So we're 5 cents in on that one already. But look at the price. Let's say 275, then go across to the futures, which has just rolled over here at Black Bull, my broker, at 287. So either the futures are going to come down to 273, or the continuous price will move up. or they'll come down and move up and meet halfway in the middle of this gap or something like that. But they've got to meet at some point, and I have the feeling that I'm slightly bullish on natural gas overall, as you might know. I think that we're moving into a sort of maybe a $3 to $4 range, broadly speaking. Could be 250 to 450, could be 3 to 5, but a higher range. So this aligns with what I'm thinking. But also notice that so the continuous price has got to catch up with the futures. The futures might have to come down, but I don't think they're going to. So I think the continuous has to catch up with the futures. So we went long on the continuous and not on the futures. And I can't trade the futures until next week because it's just rolled over. The Henry Hub has not yet rolled over, so I don't know how that will impact this. And it's the weekend coming up from tomorrow. So I'd rather not be in the futures, but I can handle the continuous contract at this time and at this price, particularly as I can get in at a discount relative to the futures. And that's why I went long on the continuous, and I'm staying out of the futures until Monday. I hope that makes sense, because these are really, really important little nuances that you may or may not realize when you're trading, particularly things like natural gas, which are not all that easy to trade. I would love to support the other channel, but I'm at work. Okay, Kogi, no problem. You'll get the best stuff here, no problem. Do you talk about WTI? Did I? Yeah, I talked about WTI and natural gas and Bitcoin. Yeah, let's go over Bitcoin. Thank you, Ethan. Let's talk about this very quickly. So I'll tell you what I'm doing on Bitcoin. And essentially, I'm still long. I'm now unhedged. So we have the situation which worries me somewhat, but not completely. What we've got here is what I thought was basically we've got a bull flag. All right, there's the bull move up the center, and we've got the bull flag. We broke out through the top of the bull flag, not reaching the bottom of the bull flag. Very importantly, when we fail to reach the bottom of any channel, including a bull flag, and then break out through the opposite side, which is the top in this case, it's a very bullish scenario. We also happen to bounce off the 50-day moving average and this previous all-time high. However, we do have a new all-time high here, and we are approaching the previous swing low. And if we have to get lower down to the bottom of the megaphone, it would take us to the bottom of this yellow zone at about 111,000, and it would take us below that previous swing low, completing a very shallow megaphone here at the top of a bull market run, which is a reversal pattern, which worries me for the long term, well, not long term, obviously, but for the short to medium term. I'm talking like weeks and months, not days, weeks and months for Bitcoin. If we have a megaphone, I can draw the megaphone in for you so that you can recognize it. Excuse me. And it's an expanding channel. Is that what it's called? Disjointed channel. Okay. So it's something like this. Let's zoom in. If we take the top of that previous high to where we got to on the next new high, and then draw this down and touch the bottoms. So what that does is it keeps the same angle, all right, of that move from an all-time high to a slightly higher all-time high, creating an angled top rather than a double flat top. And then I've drawn that as a megaphone with a slightly angled bottom with the same angle as the top line. And if you see where we coincide, let me just actually, this is really important, so I'm going to emphasize this. And I want to make this a little easier to see. Yeah, something like that. And let's fill it in a wee bit too. All right, so that's the megaphone, folks. And this is a really important pattern. Although it's almost parallel, it's almost a bull flag, it is slightly expanding, which makes it a shallow megaphone, which means we may have to test the bottom of the megaphone, which is below that previous low, which will spook out. If it happens, we may hold here. We'll come to that next scenario. But that will spook out everyone with stop losses below that previous swing low, and it will get this market going weird and crazy and upset. It's exactly what happened on the previous bull flag. We made a lower low compared to the previous one. And it happened on the previous bull flag to that too. Over here, where we made a new lower low, lower than the previous ones, and then we moved up higher. So it happened there. It happened here. It happened here. It happens everywhere. It happened there. And I expect it's going to happen here too. And I think this is a sneaky little bugger, Bitcoin, because it does this all the time, and because it's very highly leveraged retail traders involved in this market. And not only the retail traders that are leveraged now, there are corporates that are getting heavily leveraged on this. And when you get leverage added to a market and you get spikes moving down through key levels, those leverage positions get activated, or the stop losses or the hedges or the options cover or whatever it is that you're using to hedge or cover risk on these trades all get activated and can plunge the market down much further. So be aware of that. I think if we do get down to that level, Bitcoin will survive it, and that we will poke that level, head back up to the top of the megaphone, and then we'll decide what's going to happen next. So don't worry about the megaphone too much, but expect that we may have to just get a little bit lower. I'm not saying we will, because I'm long already, so my money is on the long side already. A little bit lower, and then to move back up to the top of the megaphone. That would take us to 125.5, and then we can decide whether we're going higher or we're going to falter back down into this big megaphone or channel, depending on how you view it. I view it as a megaphone, a shallow one nevertheless. Anyway, having said all of that, let's zoom in a little bit and have a look at what's going on right now on the 4-hour chart. Now, I'm long. I've unhedged completely. My long position started at 74,000, average about 84,000 now. So we're well above that, but I don't want to give that profit back. So I don't want to be losing positions. If this does plunge down, and we talked about this at Ola Prime this morning, if it does plunge down, it could be fairly catastrophic. We've got a very long-term trend line heading up down below us. I'm going to show it to you shortly. Just let me leave that there, change this to a log scale, and make this line darker. This is a long-term trend line which is coming up underneath us, and it's a multi-year long-term trend line. My charts have gone weird. I'm not sure why. Let's come back to that. Have I gone weird? All right. Anyway, it's unless my computer's just gone slow. Let me just quickly fix this. Anyway, it's a I don't know what's going on here. Trading View's just been a little bit weird recently. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, folks. Anyway, it's a multi-year long-term trend line, and the line comes up underneath us over here. And I think we may have to test that line. I hope not. There's a big order block down there. This is at around about 105 to 100,000. It's also a Fibonacci level, and I'm worried that we may have to do that. My worry is not in that it's going to destroy anyone or destroy me. I'm just going to have to hedge it again if that happens, and I don't really want to have to do that. So I'd like this to really start getting going now and take off. I can get back to that trend line. I just realized what the problem was. Let's auto fit this and zoom in and show it to you on the day chart. So there's the long-term trend line, folks. It starts in 2023. It's a log scale. If you put this to a normal scale, the trend line doesn't fit. Let me show you. So on a regular scale, you see it doesn't work, but this chart has to be looked at on a log scale. On your TradingView chart, right-click on the thing, click on the logarithmic, move down from regular percentage index, go down to logarithmic, click on there, you get the log chart. If you don't know what a log scale is, go and Google it, ask ChatGPT. But I think this trend line here will not break anywhere in the near-term future. So where is that trend line currently? If we did move down there right this minute, it would take us down to very close to 100,000. I'm hoping we wouldn't have to do that. If we do below that level on a daily close, I'll hedge my entire lot, a daily close, and expect to move down to the 200-day moving average and this very long-term trend line, which has been in place on the log scale since 2023. And that's Bitcoin. Folks, have a great trading day. It's been great having you around once again. And EIA came out bullish. Let's have a look. Let's go back to natural gas. Yeah, ticking up a wee bit. It's looking good. So we're trading at 279 now, and we're long from 273. All right, folks, have a wonderful day. And if you're trading crypto this weekend and you want some guidance, I will be trading live with my private group. So you're welcome to come and join. There are discounts available, as I said. There are links below. And if you don't want to join the private group, at least click on the link below. That gives you access to my Trader Survival Kit. And there's some free videos, free stuff in there, some stuff that I think will help you in your trading. But come and join us in the private group. It's not expensive. And we're going to be cooking up a crypto cooking storm this weekend, I think, certainly into next week. And you can also see all my trades, every single trade that I take, when I get in, when I get out, the precise level, how I manage the trade, when I exit the trade, and across a whole range of instruments, including crypto, stocks, Forex, and most commodities, but not pork bellies. I don't do pork bellies or what's the other one? Cattle or lumber. I don't do cattle, pork, or lumber, but I do all the other stuff. All right, folks. Yeah, some microphone issues. I'll have to sort that out. Will, I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Streamlabs. Sometimes there are congestions on Streamlabs which create problems. All right, folks. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for being here. Always like to see you all, and I'll see you in the next stream, either in a video tomorrow or in a live stream. I'll catch you there.